So if you've been somebody who has frequented the channel, first off, thank you. You mean the world to me. But second off, you know that I can get, but I don't enjoy getting, negative. And negativity is not what I enjoy when it comes to anime. A lot of times, if I find myself getting too negative about a certain anime, whether it's episode 1 or episode 10, Platinum Man, I'm looking at you, I just end up dropping the anime because my enjoyment is just null. It's nil. And I am not in the business of watching something that I don't enjoy. Now, at the end of the day, I review anime and I critique it, but the way that I curate anime is I only cover anime I'm truly, or I can see myself truly being interested in. And I know that at some point, if I'm just not having a good time, all my reviews are just simply going to be negative moving forward. I'd rather just summarize, say, hey, I'm not having a good time watching this. I think I'm going to drop it. And that's that. And if I had to review it, like if I was being paid to, then I would just review it, but I would be not so harsh, but I would still be true to my colors, if you know what I mean. Now, the reason I start off the video that way is I don't think I'm going to drop Reborn to Master Blade. I don't think that it's awful by any means. I think it's a good anime. But episode number 8, this episode here, was effing boring. And at the end of the day, we did get new fights. We got new characters in 𝐜𝐴. We got some fights. You know, we got to see English fight Lady Ripple. We got to see English fight alongside 𝐜𝐴. We got to see some other sniper dude. Like, we got new characters. But at the end of the day, the animation and the way that it presents the fights, it's not that good. And at the end of the day, I'll say that twice. Take a drink every time I say it. At the end of the day, that's not really what I'm here for. Like, I am here for a unique story about a fallen king who got reincarnated, who once ran a kingdom on par with what you could say a Roman Empire, and who's later reincarnated into the same world to where the landscape of the world that he created is drastically different and unimaginable, unfathomable to anything that he could have ever thought of before. And now it's a mystery as he begins to divulge and try and, well, divulge is the word, as he begins to try and uncover the traces of which his kingdom fell and what went wrong. Like, that's the real thing that's driving it. And then on top of it is the, pretty funny scenes with English and Ronnie and the different girls that have been surrounding them. Some little comedic spruces here and there. But overall, this episode was just really boring. What happened this episode? Lady Ripple fell twice. Magic Sight Beast got summoned twice. We got a new character in 𝐜𝐴, another Squire, overpower, OP Squire. A tsundere dude who's a sniper. We got to see them fight the Magic Sight Beast. And that's it. We got to see, Leone get a new weapon. That was pretty cool. Like, I think if you would tell me on paper this episode, I'd be like, oh, that sounds like a pretty good episode. But in practice, I was just bored out of my mind. And I hate that I feel that way because I genuinely want to enjoy the anime for all those things I mentioned earlier. Unique king, reincarnation. At this point, we're getting towards the end of the season, and I just want them to begin uncovering what happened to the world that he created. What is up with the Highlanders, right? And I feel like we're deviating from that to go on this other path of Magic Sight Beast and the Hyro Menace and how they're typically bonded with, their partner and how they're summoned and blah, blah, blah. Like, I think these are interesting things if I'm reading it. But while I'm watching it, they're just boring. And assuming, this anime never gets a season 2, we may end without knowing the things that could be the most interesting, the most captivating, and could increase their viewer base to potentially get funded for a second season. So, that's it. That's all I have. Oh, also she was called Oppai-chan. I thought that was pretty funny. I think the Oppai. I think the booby jokes are pretty funny. I like how they keep calling her out about it. I think that was funny. But when I say it's funny, I want to be very specific. I did not laugh. I just think that it's a comedic element that you can go, Like, that's the thing. Like, it's different from where, oh, that's funny, to where, like, that was funny. I was laughing my ass off. None of that happened. It was just like, oh, yeah, that was funny. See what I'm trying to say? Maybe I'm just not having a good day. I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments. I was bored out of my mind. I watched all of it. I even rewound a couple of times for the Yua stuff because I felt like it went by really fast. I wasn't able to take the breath of it in, so I rewound when Yua got introduced. And then when the blue hair guy, the new sniper guy, whatever his name is, when he was being a douche schlager, I rewound that again to just kind of really make sure I got what he was trying to say, and he was just being a douche noggin. So I don't know. This episode just did not hit for me. If I were to give it a rating right now, I'd be like, this episode was a 4 out of 10. I think the anime overall, 6.5. Good day, 7.5, 8. Bad day today, 4 out of 10.